So I'm working here on this Volkswagen mechatronic control unit, and I've opened up the back and I've found that there's some wires here that have come detached from the PC board. And after looking at it, it's a little hard to work on because there's this silicone goo that's potted in here. I'll zoom in a little if I can. You can see there's a hole right here where I've figured out a way to vacuum out the silicone out of the way, because when you move it, it just moves right back. And so I've had to figure out a way to remove it. So I'm actually using a syringe here, pulling a vacuum on it and pulling out little plugs of the silicone potting material. And it appears that the wires were either ultrasonically welded or laser welded. My guess is ultrasonic, welded to the traces on this board. And I don't have an ultrasonic welder. I'm going to try maybe to solder it. And if I can't get soldered to go on there, I'll probably use a conductive epoxy. So that's where I'm at with it now. I've got to try to remove the potting to get in there to reattach the wires, and have to also be very careful because there's 18 wires here on this connector, and they're very fragile. They're not connected very well. And I believe what happened, I believe what caused the failure was that this the remainder of this void inside this module filled up with the transmission fluid. And I believe it was imparting a vibration on these wires. The wires are able to move, and I believe that that wire moving caused it to break its connection. And I'm not sure why they did not go ahead and just fill the entire void with the silicone potting fluid, and that would have displaced any, not allowed any transmission fluid to build up in there. And that would have probably lasted a lot longer. And so if I'm able to correct this condition here, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with the potting fluid, potting compound, before I seal it up, because I'm pretty sure my seal is not going to hold back the transmission fluid. So I'm going to want to pot that very well. So I'm going to go ahead and start now to remove the potting compound. Okay, so now I know why I haven't been able to find any videos or information about soldering onto this. These wires are stainless steel, evidently, and they're non-solderable with what I have. So I'm going to go back to my plan to use some conductive epoxy to make the connection. So stay tuned. I'll be doing another video, and that's my last chance to repair the module. Soldering, I can solder to the board, but not to the wire. I guess I could solder a copper wire and maybe solder it onto the pin. I'm not sure. I have a feeling the pins on the connector are also stainless steel, because I think they would have wanted to avoid dissimilar metals.